Week 2 of the Las Vegas Raiders OTA practices are officially underway, and with that being said, day 1 of week 2 has wrapped up. Now we have more news, notes, highlights, observations to talk about. So we're going to break down the entirety of today's practice, what happened, who looked good, but most importantly, a couple of guys who have looked really good throughout the entirety of camp so far. Before we dive into that though, I need you guys to do me a favor. Comment down below a player or maybe two players that you think have the potential to absolutely break out this season for the Raiders. It could be a rookie, a second-year player, maybe a veteran who maybe hasn't looked great yet but could break out this season, or maybe a guy they just signed in free agency. Now, if I had to pick someone, I'm going to go with a guy like Trey Tucker, who has all of the speed in the world to keep the defense honest, but also at the same time, get back or get behind the defense and make big time plays happen. I think Trey Tucker's a guy who, when the football is in his hands, he is a threat to score on every single play, and I think they're going to try to utilize him, to those abilities each and every single play this season. I think Trey Tucker has the ability to stand out this year. Now, comment down below your pick, and with that being said, let's dive a little bit into another day here in Raiders camp. Now, one guy who has been looking really good, actually I should say a pair of guys who have been looking really good, Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, man. You gotta love this competition early because these are two quarterbacks. One, Gardner Minshew has a Pro Bowl under his belt, and then Aiden O'Connell, we know how good Aiden O'Connell can be. He looked really good in terms of, starting as a rookie, get thrown into the fire mid-season with the new head coach, right? I mean, this dude learned really quickly, and I just think with a full offseason of getting starting reps, developing rapport and chemistry with guys like Devontae and Michael Mayer and Jacoby Myers and, Zamir White, right? I think that is going to go so much further than what we just saw from last season. So I know a lot of people are sleeping on what Aiden O'Connell can really do, but so far in camp, him and Gardner Minshew have made some really impressive throws throughout practice in 7-on-7s and red zone drills. O'Connell actually threw a dot over the middle to the end zone to Michael Mayer. Beautiful throw, absolute dot. And then Minshew at the same time, right, creating some time in the pocket, getting out, using his legs, to extend plays, and then he found Dylan Laube in the flat and ended up picking up a big time play in that area as well. And you know what? That's going to transition us perfectly. Let's talk about Dylan Laube, dude. A 6th-round draft pick, a guy who has caught so many eyes so far in practice. It seems like every single day we see him just working, and right? We have a new running back coach here in Cadillac Williams, former interim coach at Auburn, former coordinator at Auburn as well. This is a guy who's very similar to Antonio Pierce, a guy who has played football at the high level, right, but also knows what it takes to coach younger guys, knows what it takes to get into the mindset of a new age NFL player, right? These aren't the same players from 20, 30 years ago. These guys need to be coached differently. And Cadillac Williams knows exactly how they need to be coached. He showed it at Auburn, and now coming over here to the Raiders, I think he is another one of those perfect fits that, guys are going to want to play for him and run through walls for him. And I think Dylan Laube is already starting to, hit his stride, really starting to learn under Cadillac Williams, and he's making a ton of plays, right? Now, I always like to compare him to a guy like Austin Eckler. Now, the reason I do this is because Austin Eckler was a UDFA coming out of college, was really known as a big-time pass catcher, right? And Tom Telesco, the new GM, was the one who brought him in, right? And he actually compared him a little bit to Austin Eckler in terms of, hey, this dude not only can be a big-time pass catcher, but he can be a 3-down back if he develops the right way. And so far, he's been doing it. I don't think he'll be a day-one starter, but Dylan Laube has all the potential in the world, and what he's shown so far, oh my, I cannot wait to see him in preseason. Before we get any further into the video and break down a couple more players who look really good today and over the past week and a half, make sure you guys do me a favor, hit the like button, but also subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's free. Stop what you're doing. Go do it. It does not hurt you to subscribe. We're going to be covering the Raiders throughout the entirety of the offseason. Not only, guys, OTAs, not only mandatory minicamp, but training camp, preseason, regular season, everything you can think of, we got you guys covered. Join the family. Okay, now let's break down a couple of other guys as well. Now, you might have heard me mention these names a little earlier on in the video, but Jacoby Myers and Michael Mayer, two pass catchers who are really underrated, right? Jacoby Myers might be one of the most underrated wide receivers in football, with everything that he does, the little things in terms of blocking, of, underneath routes and making, just being a safety net for the quarterback, but also his route running ability, insane. You talk about Jacoby Myers getting the same amount of money as Juju Smith, and you think Jacoby Myers might be the biggest steal of NFL history with that contract. I don't even know what happened, what the Patriots were thinking, but thank you, right? That's what the Raiders saying. Michael Mayer, same thing, right? You talk about a room of guys with Michael Mayer, with Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams, Trey Tucker, Michael Gallup, DJ Turner, right? I mean, the list goes on. They have so many different weapons, and I feel like because they have so many different weapons, it's going to make life of everyone else so much easier, right? Because instead of Devontae getting doubled, well, you can't, because you got to cover Brock Bowers, and you got to cover Michael Mayer, and you got to cover Jacoby Myers. So we're going to see a lot of zone, a lot of one-on-one matchups here throughout the entirety of the season, and hopefully that makes our quarterback play even better. But so far in camp, Michael Mayer has flipped that script, man. He has really transitioned. His mentality, his attitude, his work ethic, everything is different this season. And maybe because Antonio Pierce is here, but you can just tell his rookie year, now that it's over, he's turning, he's going, he's getting ready for the next step. And listen, some are blaming Josh McDaniels for a slow start, but I guarantee you this season is going to be a whole lot different for a guy like Michael Mayer. I'm excited to see what he can do. Now these 12 personnel sets, oh my, it's going to be fun. And you can split them out at wide receiver as well. Red zone package is going to be scary. And I don't know how defense is going to, plan for that. Another couple of guys along the D-line who have looked really good, and this is probably the one I'm most excited about, Tyree Wilson. Honestly, now that I'm looking back at it, I should have listed him as a guy that could really break out, man. You can just see this dude has filled out his frame. He looks more like an NFL player. He's got great physique. I mean, dude, this dude looks like he could be a dog this year, right? He's got good weight. He's got good eating habits according to him, right? He's sleeping better. Of course, again, this is according to him. But this is something you need to see. The little things matter the most, right? You got to learn from the people around you. And Max Crosby is the one that initiated this, right? And Max Crosby is the one that telling him what to do, telling him how to improve, telling him how to eat, how to sleep, right? So I think Max Crosby being a leader is really, really good. But listen, Wilson had a rocky, rookie season, kind of like Cleveland Farrell. But man, the potential with Tyree Wilson is so much stronger. And if he can build upon how he finished last season, dude, he is going to have a significant role, maybe even on the interior of the defensive line, alongside Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, and Malcolm Kuntz. And again, we talk about the wide receiver room is going to be able to help each other, but so is this front four, man. You have four guys who can really get to the quarterback in Malcolm Kuntz, Max Crosby, Tyree Wilson, and Christian Wilkins. It is going to be extremely fun, and I think the Raiders could be a team that could be sneaky good in terms of getting to the quarterback. Tyree Wilson has looked really good throughout practices over the last couple of days. We're going to continue to see him grow. And then you talk about Malcolm Kuntz, man. Malcolm Kuntz, I don't think we really have to talk about him. He had a great year last year, and he's continuing to impress, continuing to just grow that confidence and really stand out as a player overall. Listen, you sit back and look at this Raiders team. They are deep. They are, they want to win football games, and they're hungry, man. I love what they've done this offseason. For some reason, people are saying they had one of the worst. I think that might be the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we go live for a game. We will be streaming some games potentially for the Raiders this season on my Twitch. I think you can find it at Matty Dubs with 3 S's. Go check it out. But also, hit the like button, subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost anything. We're going to be covering the rest of the offseason. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next Raiders update. Peace.